Hello, hi, Tom. Hello, hi, Tom. I don't, I have to look in the file, but I think we just came up with that value just based on an estimate. I think I probably would have run it by Jimmy. I don't recall the specific conversation, but there's definitely no appraisal of it. There's no formal appraisal of it. Right. Uh-huh. This is what we came up with Dr. Manning, what he felt it was worth, and it sounded like a reasonable, amount. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Hey, what about, wait, let me ask you, what about Victoria Foster? Did she send another email saying that it goes straight from, I can't remember the name of the corporation, whatever the Manny Jimenez Corporation, whatever that is, to you half and Parkland to you half and them half outright, not through Ja. Yes. Okay. 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 Okay, but I guess what I'm asking is, do you have any objection to it being in half, 50% your name individually and 50% the Fosters, or would you rather be held by Ja LLC? Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, she hadn't gotten back to me. First, she said, let's do it to them, to you all individually. And then she wrote another email saying, hold off, the underwriter's not sure. So I'm just waiting to hear from her. Are you getting a copy of those emails? Okay. 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 Well, if I hear anything more, I'll let you know. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning. Morning, Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Acosta, you need to connect to your audio. Juan Sanchez, I'm sorry. It's Mr. Sanchez, if you can press the red microphone icon button, please. You can unmute. Mr. Hernandez, if you will as well. Thank you. It's Juan
Can you hear
Sanchez.
me over there?
Yes,
Yes,
I can
sir.
hear Okay, it's
All
on
right.
the screen.
Good morning.
Morning. Okay, Ms. Sanchez, if you raise your right hand. If you raise your right, you swear the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Hi, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're here on a evidentiary hearing in regard to the whether the CDC declaration is valid or not, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Zimprich, you want to go ahead?
Yes, Mr. Sanchez, you recently supplemented your discovery responses yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you remember, or do you have a copy of those responses? And Judge, do you have those responses as well?
Yes, I have what's filed. There was a supplemental response to plaintiff's discovery filed yesterday.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Yes, I have it.
Okay, and Mr. Sanchez, do you remember your responses to the income and expenses that you provided?
Can you repeat the question?
Well, let's start. How much are you claiming? And remember, you're under oath here. How much are you claiming that you're making right now per month?
Honestly, right now I'm not making anything. I know that recently I opened my LLC, but I have to close it down because of COVID. But last month I just write a check for $500, and that's everything that I have gotten so far.
You wrote a check for $500?
Yes, sir.
Who did you write that check to?
To myself.
Okay. So,
But that's pretty much what was to pay my basic expenses.
okay, so are we talking about September? You're saying you made $500 in September.
Yeah. September, we're in October. For September.
So you made $500, and how did you make that money?
Washing cars?
Okay. And then you say that you paid $120 in utilities. What kind of utilities do you have?
Well, I'm so sorry for that. Actually, that's basically, I try to save food, toothbrush, my shampoo, my personal hygiene. I had to go to Juarez to do some for medication too.
That's utilities?
Judge, I just want to explain that I had a conversation with Mr. Sanchez. Apparently, he misunderstood the word utilities to mean like necessities.
Do not interrupt. Mr. Sanchez can answer the question.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Judge. Yeah, pretty much I misunderstood over there in utilities because it's pretty much food, personal, like hygiene, toothbrush, things like that, and food as well. So
Your
I'm
Honor,
gonna try. I'm sorry.
would you allow screen sharing so I can bring up
Sure.
your response?
Sure. Oh, that's my own. Hold on one second. Okay, I think you can do it now. Try it.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, you see your responses here. What about phone? You pay $70 a month in phone. Is that your cell phone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, internet. You pay $70 a month. Is that the Spectrum for your home internet?
That's what I pay, 70.
Okay, you pay $160 in gas. Is that correct?
Around there. Yes, sir.
And then you have utilities, $120. Is that not correct?
Well, basically, utilities stands for my food.
Utilities you thought was food? Because food.
Well, I pretty much spend like $200 in food and personal hygiene. I didn't mean to say utilities because me and you know that I don't pay any utilities over there.
So you don't pay any utilities because the apartment covers those utilities?
Yes, sir.
But you pay electric, correct?
Yes, sir. On time, around 100 to 150, around there.
So you pay 100 to 150 in electric, correct?
Around there, yes, sir.
Okay, so the utility is 120 is probably correct. Okay, so that leaves you, according to you, you have $80 for your personal expenses and food, correct?
Sometimes it goes up. I mean, 80, it's a really minimum amount. It's even more than 80. Sometimes it's 100, 150, depends. Need to buy super.
So your personal expenses, how high could
It's
they
around
be?
200. It's around 200, my personal expenses. In total, if you add it up, it's around $500 that I spend every month.
Well, if this is 200, Mr. Sanchez, that's much more than 500, isn't it? Because you total these numbers up, you only get 500.
I mean, if you raise the utilities from 120, and if you add it up to the 200 of the food, it's food, internet, gas. If you add it up, it's around 500 that I spend.
Okay, so the food, what do you eat 3 meals a day?
I try to. I
Okay,
mean,
do you
I work out and I try to stay healthy. Yes, sir.
do you ever go out to eat?
Sometimes.
Okay, so if you eat 3 meals a day, you understand, Mr. Sanchez, you're allocating under oath that you spend $80 on food and other necessities. Even if it was just food, $80 at 30 days gives you $2.66 per day to eat. Is that what you're swearing under oath?
Well, I mean, 80 is not exactly. It's around there, and I'm telling you, it's not 80. Sometimes it's like it's like 150, 200 on food.
Okay, so let's say it's 200. So now you spend 120 in utilities, 70 on phone, 70 on internet, 160 on gas, and 200 on food. So you spend $620 a month on your expenses, but you're swearing under oath that you only make $500 per month. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir. But 620 is a little bit higher. But I mean, I don't have a steady income at the moment. I'm unemployed right now. I started working from my LLC, but I needed to shut it off because COVID started one more time. So I need to cancel all my appointments.
Okay, so Mr. Sanchez, your LLC is a car wash, correct?
It's a what? I'm sorry.
A car wash business?
Yes, sir. It's a mobile detail. I try to keep the cars clean here in the El Paso for the
Okay.
people, disinfecting and sanitizing them.
And you're saying,
But-
your statement right now is you shut down your LLC because of COVID, is that correct?
I put it on standby on hold. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're saying you're not washing any cars anymore?
No, sir. Only the one that I have pending, but
Okay.
not at the moment.
So you haven't
If you
washed,
go ahead and
how
if
long
you
has
go
it
ahead
been
and
since you've washed any cars?
yesterday,
Okay, so you washed how many cars yesterday?
one,
Okay, and when was the previous time you washed a car?
like a week ago.
Okay, so,
Before yesterday.
okay.
I mean, sometimes my friends ask me like, hey, because they know that what I do. So sometimes they ask me, hey, can you come and help me out? And I not do that because of the money. Pretty much I go there, I help them. And then sometimes, they give me just for cooperation purposes.
So let's start with this. You have an LLC. It's Mr. Spitshine LLC, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How long has that been in business?
Since August?
Since August of this year?
Yes, sir.
That's
I
when
just
you
started
formed,
it.
that's when you formed the LLC?
That's correct. Yes,
But
sir.
you were washing cars before August, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't wash any cars before August of 2020.
No, sir.
Okay, how do you
Because I didn't
advertise
have my
your
business
LLC?
registered.
Well, I mean, you don't need an LLC to wash cars, right?
Well, if you want to do things right, you have to.
Okay. So it's your testimony that you did not wash any cars in El Paso before August of 2020.
Not by business purposes. No, sir.
What do you mean not by business purposes? You weren't paid for those car washes?
No, but just for cooperation for the people.
But
I
you
mean,
were,
there's a lot of elderly that then they cannot wash their cars, so I volunteer for that for some of them.
and you
But
did
I
it,
guess it was. I'm sorry.
you did it for free or you were paid for those car washes?
No, it was totally for free.
So you were washing cars prior to August of 2020 for free, and all of those washes were free.
But not all of them. There were just like 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, let's start as of August. Do you have any employees?
No, sir.
Okay. What about a vehicle? This is a mobile wash, correct? So do you have a vehicle that you use?
It's my girlfriend's truck, and she lends it to me. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so it's not registered in your name?
No, sir.
Okay. What about equipment? Do you have equipment that you use for those car washes?
Yeah, a pressure washer, a vacuum. Not that expensive. It's just basic, you know.
Okay. So you stated that you only do detail services. Is that right? You don't do just basic washes. It's a full detail, interior, exterior.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And do you have any membership services, like somebody signs up and pays a monthly fee and you do so many washes, or is it just a wash by wash case?
It's just wash by wash.
Okay.
My plan is to have a membership, of course, but not at the moment. It's
And
just
how
a
much-
wash by wash.
How much do you charge for those detail services?
Between 100 to 150 per service.
Okay, the cars are 120, right? 120 for a car, and trucks are a little more expensive.
The trucks are 145. Yes, sir. For the cars is 120.
And how do you get paid for those car washes? Do you take checks, credit cards, or is everything cash?
It depends on the client.
Okay, do some clients pay credit card?
Yes, sir. I process through Square.
Okay, and Square deposit that's into a bank account, correct?
The business account.
Okay, and
Yes,
I've asked you for bank account records, right? In my discovery, and you have not provided those?
Objection,
But
Judge.
this
I'm gonna
a
object.
thing.
Judge, I have an objection. He did not ask for any LLC bank accounts, and it would be irrelevant anyhow. The LLC is a corporation. It's its own legal person. It's not a party to this suit. It was started in August of this year. That's irrelevant, Judge.
Okay, the question was, produce a copy of all statements from any financial institution to which you are entitled. Well, basically, from any financial institution, investment firm, or asked to hold a company related to cash held by such party to which you are entitled as the sole
Or in your name.
LLC, Mr.
Or in your name.
entitled to those funds.
No, but you say in your name.
No, I do not.
You say right there. What? Okay, let's cover that one, because that's not what you asked for. What question are you referring to?
If you look at the supplemental responses, produce a copy of all statements from any financial institution, investment firm, or asset holding company related to cash held by such party to which you are entitled or is listed in your name.
Yeah, well, that money belongs to the corporation.
Mr.
He's not entitled to that money. That's its own legal person.
Your Honor,
You know that.
Sanchez is a sole member of the LLC and the sole controlling party of those accounts.
Yeah, but it's a corporation. It's its own legal person. It's not a party to this case.
That is a source.
It's got
of-
its own expenses. And
Mr. Hernandez, this is his source of income. The purpose of this hearing is to determine what his sources of income are. Certainly, a single member LLC is a source of his income. So I'm going to overrule your objection.
Okay. I just started that LLC in August, and I needed to shut it off. In case you need the statements, Mr. Hernandez have them because I voluntarily and give it to him. So in case you ask for them, I mean, I'm not making that much money, to be honest. I barely started it. Right now, I'm pretty much doing my expenses on the same equipment, but it's not that I'm making a lot of money off of it.
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, so Mr. Hernandez has those statements in his possession right now?
I
Yes,
do,
sir.
Judge.
Okay. So, Mr. Sanchez, how many car washes do you think you did in September?
Like 2 or 3?
2 or 3? Okay. How many car washes do you think you did in October?
I honestly don't remember.
If you had to take a wild guess, what would you guess?
I had to, the same thing. I mean, right now it's really slow. People don't want to watch, don't want to just welcome probably anybody
So
because of
in
the
October,
situation.
is it more than 5?
Not that I think so.
So you think you did less than 5 in October?
Probably, let's put it like 5. Yeah.
And 2 or 3 in September, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You advertise your business on social media, right?
Just on Instagram. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I started Facebook, but I don't have any access anymore.
And when you're doing a car wash or you do a car wash, do you always take a picture of the job and post it on Instagram?
Sometimes.
So sometimes you do and sometimes you don't post that job? Depends on how nice the car is?
That's one thing, but it's Can you hear me?
It cut out for a second.
It's because you cut it off. Were you saying that if I put pictures, sometimes I put pictures. I mean, I'm a car enthusiast. I really like cars since I was little. Sometimes it's for the job and sometimes it's not. It's just because I really like the car.
Okay, but I mean, the cars that you wash that are nice, like Porsches or Corvettes, you'll snap a shot and you'll post it online right away.
Sometimes, yes, sir.
And some of those jobs you do at your apartment in the retreat,
No, I go to the client's address.
You go to the client's address? Okay. Mr. Sanchez, do you know how much money was deposited into your bank account in September? Or would I ask Mr. Hernandez that question since he has those statements?
Okay. I have the statement for August. I don't have September statement. And that one, the deposit was 957. All the deposits for August.
Do you know why you don't have September statement, it being almost the end of October?
Well, I thought I don't have it. I don't. Maybe Mr. Sanchez has it. I don't have it with me.
Mr. Sanchez, did you provide Mr. Hernandez your September statement from the business?
I need to double check on that. Probably the bank hasn't released them because I sent August for sure.
Okay, but you're not sure about September?
No, sir.
No, I did. Just to be fair, I did tell him that that from my understanding of the question, that you weren't asking for that information. So I just was more interested in personal
So,
rather than,
Mr. Sanchez, the money that's reflected on the bank statement, those are only credit card charges? Or is it other deposits?
It's both. It has to be checks. Sometimes we receive checks.
Okay, and sometimes
And
you receive cash?
sometimes,
Okay.
not all the time, but sometimes.
Do you deposit into the LLC bank account all of the cash that you receive?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're saying your total income for August was $950. Is that what you're saying under oath?
Yes, sir.
And what was your total income for September?
You mean about the LLC or to me?
Let's say your total income from all sources, every single penny that you received from anywhere in September.
Less than 1,000.
Okay, but more than 500, right?
Probably even less than that, sir.
Less than 500?
I mean, we didn't wash too many cars. Probably between 500.
Okay. I've got another witness I'd like to call, Judge, if I could just have a couple minutes so that they could log on.
Sure. I'm going to give Mr. Hernandez an opportunity to
thank you, Judge.
ask Mr. Sanchez a question.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Acosta. So when you stated that your income was about 500 a month, is that a fixed amount or is it average?
In my expenses, sir,
No, in your income.
it's an average.
It's an average. So that means that sometimes it comes up, sometimes it goes down.
Yes, sir. I mean, but no more than 1,000, of course. I mean,
what about your expenses? Are they also average? Like it just depends. It can go up, it can go down.
the expenses are always the pretty much the same. I mean, the phone's the same, electric sometimes is the same, kind of the same. So in total, it's about $500.
Okay, now, Mr. The attorney asked you about the membership that for your car wash business that you advertise. Have you had anybody that has subscribed to that membership?
No, sir.
No. So you advertise it, but you haven't had anybody, right?
I didn't advertise anything but about membership, but I don't have any members at the moment.
Okay, because it's a fairly new business, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm trying to do things right. That's why I decided to start the LLC.
Okay, now here I have another question. The attorney asked you about photographs that you take on Instagram about vehicles. And you said you're a vehicle enthusiast. Does that mean that some of those photos are not vehicles that you washed?
No.
They're just because you like the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And another question I have is, for the LLC, do you also have expenses for the LLC that are not personal expenses?
Well, yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Simprich?
Yes, just a couple quick follow-ups. Mr. Sanchez, so this is your website, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you're saying that this was just posted and formed in August?
My LLC, it was on August. That page I've been working in for 3 years because I did it myself. I created all that. I didn't pay anybody, but I didn't put it into business until August.
Okay. And so according to this website, you do cars for 120, SUVs and trucks for 145, and you also do commercial vehicles, 300, semis, etc. Have you done a couple RVs?
I think we did one of them. One of them was last month.
Last month?
Yeah.
And then
The one that you're asking me, I
have you
think
done
that it was last month.
have
I'm
you done
sorry?
any boats or private jets?
Not at the moment, but I wish. That's why it's there. Law of attraction.
Okay, but you have done an RV and you were paid the $300, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as your, this is your Instagram post, correct?
Which one?
This, can you see this here?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got 160 posts, 851 followers. And these look like that's you, right? Washing vehicles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's in the apartment complex, isn't it? Or is that at a different location?
I cannot see very well, to be honest with you. Let me. No, that's in a different location.
Okay. And that's the RV that you cleaned?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bob's RV.
Okay. So these posts are basically, that's a job you did as well?
I was trying to help Mr. Bob. Yeah. He gave us some compensation to helping him.
Okay.
But yeah.
What about this Hummer limo here? Did you clean that? Well, actually, it does say detailed and sanitized, right? You detailed and sanitized that Hummer?
Yes, sir.
How much did you charge for that job?
300.
Okay, when did you do that one?
That was. It's the date is over there.
October 15th, correct?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about this one here? That looks like it's also October 15th, is that correct?
But that was just a picture.
With the hood open and the trunk open? You took a picture of a vehicle with the hood and the trunk open and you weren't detailing?
I honestly cannot see really well. It's the Suburban?
It's a Suburban. It looks like you're in the
Yeah,
process of detailing it.
we detailed that one.
Okay,
I
and
detailed that one.
how much did you charge for that one?
It was a 145
Okay, and that
for
was
the price of the SUV.
the last week as well?
I believe that was the last car that I detailed on that month.
Okay. What about this GMC here?
That's just a picture.
What about this vehicle here? This was posted October 6th. That's definitely being cleaned, right?
Yeah, but I didn't charge for that one.
You didn't charge, you did that one for free?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about this Audi? You detailed that
Same.
one? What do you mean the same?
No, that was just a picture.
Well, the post says that he booked you. You're telling me that you lied on Instagram, that this person didn't actually book you to clean this car?
I thought of the other one. That one we did,
Okay.
but not the other one that you were previously.
So this Audi
But that was just a.
was
I'm sorry?
done September 26th?
But that was just a fast wash. I mean, I don't tend to do detail. I don't tend to do fast wash because it's not I mean, I would not get any money, too much money for that. But that one, I mean, I only charge 60 for that one.
Okay, what about this Toyota truck? You cleaned that one as well?
I cleaned it.
Okay. See, is that a different, that looks like a different truck there. This one as well. This was September 16th.
What about it?
This one you cleaned as well?
Yeah, we cleaned it. That's actually from a police officer.
Okay. This Ram here, you cleaned that one as well?
No, sir. That was just the pictures.
Okay, what are you cleaning here? The back of another truck, or
I'm sorry?
this one here it looks like a maroon pickup truck that you're cleaning?
We just shot a video over there. But it's not that I did a job over there.
What about the Corvette? Did you clean that one?
It was only pictures.
Well, this one here,
It's clean. Yeah.
you clean that one? Okay.
But it's not that I'm charging for them. One thing is cleaning them, giving service. Another thing is charging. It's pretty much charging for them.
So you're saying that you are doing free washes and posting those online?
Yeah. Because I believe the car is really nice and I like to put pictures of them.
So you do free details. How many free details have you done?
I don't remember, to be honest, sir. There have been too many.
In the last 2 months?
In the last 2 months, I have done a lot of free details. Yes, sir.
Okay, because at the beginning of this hearing, you said you've only washed 2 or 3 cars each month in the last couple months.
That I charge for them.
And you did a
Not
lot.
that I did for free.
And you can't remember how many free washes you did in the last 2 months?
I cannot.
Okay, would it be more than 2?
Probably like 5, I believe. 5 free details. 6.
5 total, and who did you provide those services to?
Just random people.
Random,
Sometimes I'm just driving around and I'm sorry?
random strangers off the street?
Yeah. Why not?
And how do you find these people?
I don't understand what you mean. How do I find them? Like,
How do you find these people that you're giving this gift to?
well, just driving by. If I pass by, if I see the car, it's not clean. I mean, I'm willing to go there and then just tell them like, hey, can I wash your car, your truck, SUV? Yeah.
So these
How much
5,
you charge? I'm sorry?
these 5 free details you did in the last 2 months, what type of cars were those?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Do you remember any of
Just
them? Give me one of the vehicles.
I don't remember. Some of them, I don't even took pictures. I don't remember.
Okay, so you can't remember a single vehicle out of the 5 that you're testifying under oath you did for free in the last 2 months?
If you go to the page, the yellow Corvette, that one was for free.
The yellow Corvette. So you're saying there's a yellow Corvette in here?
Yeah. If you could scroll up. The Tesla, that one too, the white one, they just passed.
So you cleaned the white
The
Tesla
red,
for free? You washed and detailed that car for free?
the Tesla?
That's the Tesla, right?
Yes, sir.
You washed and detailed that car for free?
Yes, sir.
And how did you find that vehicle?
Because they live here in the mountain, Scenic Drive.
Is it a friend of yours?
I've known them for a while. Yeah.
And you just called them up and said, I want to wash your car?
Yeah.
Okay. But all the other cars in here that we've gone over,
Honestly, to be honest, sir, like now is my turn. Like, I'm not making any money, like for reals to pay the rent and whatever the retreat is asking me to pay for. Now, Judge, I don't know if you know why we're here. Do you know, Judge, why we're here?
I know why we're here, but Mr. Zimperch is asking you questions, so wait for his next question.
so based on the vehicles that we've gone over and the time frames that we've gone over, there's more than 2 or 3 cars that you've been washing a month, isn't there, Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah, but I'm not making enough to pay whatever the retreat is charging me for. In actually, the retreat is charging me for an incorrect amount.
That's
They
what you're
didn't give me my
claiming.
30 days.
But you haven't paid any money in the last, since February, right? You haven't paid a single
They
penny?
haven't. Well, they haven't paid me either, sir.
Well,
They haven't paid me either.
that's
They
not
owe me money. They owe me money, and that's why we're here.
Mr. Sanchez, the question was, since February, you haven't paid anything for your apartment, correct?
And that is correct, sir.
Thank you. I'll pass it.
And he's not the.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, I have a couple of follow-up questions, Judge. Okay, first of all, Mr. Sanchez, as far as your testimony that you give free car washes, can you explain to the judge, like, what's the purpose behind that?
So they can appreciate what I'm doing for them and to see like the job that I can provide for them.
Now, would you agree that if they like your job, that the next time they might pay you for it?
Of course.
So in a way, it's just you basically just promoting your business, correct?
That is correct.
Now, you offered to wash my vehicle for free, didn't you?
I did. You haven't let me.
I haven't let you, but you did offer that, right? Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
so some of these pictures that are on your Instagram, then they're vehicles you may have cleaned, but you didn't actually get paid for them because they were for the purpose of promoting your business, correct?
That is true.
Okay. Now, there was some discussion about the rent amount. Now, you know that they're asking for about $1,400 a month, correct? The retreat.
Yes,
okay. And before they were asking for that, you were only paying them $200 a month, right?
that is correct. Because I used to provide services for them.
But you were also providing services for them, correct? Now, can you explain to the judge what those services were?
Yeah, meditation services, and they had a little gym over there, and I help people working out. Pretty much, it's an alternative therapy, so they can know how to breathe, so they know how to get to relax. And I wasn't getting paid for that.
So basically, you were working for the retreat, providing therapy sessions to the tenants there for free, correct?
That is correct. For almost 3 years, 2 years.
For almost 3 years. So then you also worked for them for a while as a leasing agent, correct?
I'm going to object to the
only for 1 month.
Isn't it? Okay, Mr. Zimperch, what's your objection?
We're here to determine his ability to pay the rent from here forward, not 3 years ago. So the whole line of questioning about what he has done in the past and what happened in the past may be relevant to the eviction, But as far as the hearing today, it's irrelevant on his income and expenses and ability to pay and the CDC declaration.
Mr. Hernandez, do you have a
Mr. Simprick, there's something that is really relevant,
hold-
and that's
Be quiet. Nothing was asked of you. You're a witness. Mr. Hernandez, you have a response?
yes, Judge, I think it goes to his ability to pay. I mean, for at least until before they filed the eviction, he actually was working for them. They fired him, and then the pandemic came, and he's been trying to make it, and he's not making that income, Judge. Now but I'll move on. I have another question, Mr. Sanchez. Do you make $99,000 a year or anything close to that?
no, sir.
Okay, and how much has the retreat ever opened up an invitation for you to pay any amount of rent at all?
Never.
Never. But how much are they saying that you owe them?
Well, they have given me different amounts. First, they were charging me 8,000, then 11,000, and then right now, you're saying 1,400.
Okay, can you pay $8,000? Can you pay them the $8,000 that they want?
No, sir.
Can you pay $1,400 a month?
No, sir.
Okay, can you pay them
I cannot
$200 a month?
Yeah,
You could pay $200 a month?
what I was paying before, yes.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, that's all I have, Judge.
Mr. Zimprich?
Yeah, just a couple of quick follow-ups on the $200 a month. Based on Mr. Sanchez, based on your sworn statement, you have no extra money. Is that correct? Your response to the interrogatories, your expenses
Yeah,
equal.
I don't have $200, but I'm pretty sure that I can get them.
Okay.
I mean,
And then
if I do something about them, but no, I don't have them.
The last question I have is that you testified earlier that some of your jobs you post on Instagram, but not all of them. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's correct.
And would you say that it's maybe half of the jobs you do are posted on Instagram?
Not all the jobs, like pretty much all the jobs I try to post them, but from the posting that I have, some of them some of them are clients, like you said, and some of them are just pictures that I like to put over there.
Okay, but my question is that some of the car washes you do maybe are not a nice car and you don't post it on Instagram. So
No,
some
I
of the,
do. I mean, if they don't nice, I do them. If they don't nice, I mean, I really don't mind. I put them.
okay, but I think your testimony was that some of the jobs you do, you post on Instagram, but not all of them. Is that
I try
what
to
you?
stay consistent. Yeah, I try to stay consistent.
Okay, so there are some jobs that you've done in the last few months that aren't posted on Instagram.
No, everything should be there.
Everything. So every job you've done, you're saying now is posted to Instagram?
I remember, yes, the ones that you show me.
Okay. But do you understand the question, Mr. Sanchez?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't catch it.
What I'm trying to understand is every single job that you do for Mr. Spitshine, do you take a picture and post it to Instagram, or are there some occasions where you don't post the vehicle?
Most of the occasions I put them.
Most of them. But there are some that aren't posted. That's your testimony.
No, I try to put all of them.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. You try to put all of them, correct?
But I mean, I do put all of them.
Okay, we'll pass the witness.
Mr. Hernandez, anything else?
I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Zimprich, you have another witness?
Yes, I'll call Larissa. Let me get her last name for you. I think it's Fregosa?
Fragoso.
Fregoso. Okay.
Ms. Fregoso, if you could please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I swear.
Thank you.
Ms. Fregoso, could you tell the judge what is your position at the retreat?
I am the property manager here at Retreat at Mesa Hills.
And how are you familiar with Mr. Sanchez?
He was actually hired by my property manager at the time when I was an assistant, and he was giving masseuse services, according to my property manager. When I actually got promoted, I was seeing that nothing was being done. There was a list he was supposed to be giving weekly, letting us know.
I'm gonna object to that questioning, Judge. I mean, it has nothing to do with whether or not he applies or qualifies for the CDC order, and it's just not relevant, Judge, for this
move
hearing.
on.
Okay, that is the same line of question that Mr. Hernandez, that you were pursuing as well.
So,
But Mr. Zimperch is going to move on, correct?
yes.
Okay.
So you had dealings with Mr. Sanchez in the past?
Correct. He was actually not fulfilling his job duty as a masseuse.
I'm gonna object to that line of questioning,
That's okay.
Judge. It's not relevant. It's not relevant.
Again, we'll move on.
Let's go to the next question.
So more recently, have you seen Mr. Sanchez at the property?
Yes, we have seen him at property. I actually had a tenant. Unfortunately I couldn't find the call, but a lot of tenants were asking if we have our
Objection to hearsay, Judge. I'm gonna object to any hearsay from any other person that is not testifying here today, Judge.
I didn't hear that response, so I don't know what the objection was to.
We were getting calls asking if we were offering a car service because it looks like Mr. Sanchez.
I'm gonna
had-
object to hearsay, Judge. That's hearsay to what anybody else told him.
He can testify as to inquiries they've received. Go ahead.
So he actually has his business under our our address, so the 1020. So we were getting calls asking if we were actually doing the services, and we actually saw Mr. Sanchez's truck giving services here at our property.
Okay. So
That is not true. What type of services were you saying me?
Mr. Sanchez, don't interrupt. You're not the witness at this
All right.
point.
Sorry. Okay.
So,
Sorry.
Mr. Gosso, when you say services, is that the car wash services?
Correct, detailing services.
Okay. And you were getting calls at the apartment complex?
Correct, because his address actually shows our apartment complex. So they actually thought that was a service we were offering at our apartment complex.
Okay, and that, I think, is that on his homepage or is that on the Google?
That's actually on Google.
Okay, so the 1020 South Mesa Hills, that comes up under Mr.
Correct, that's our address.
Okay, and how many calls do you think you received asking for car wash?
I believe 3 of my leasing agents got a call. I personally got a call, and I actually had a resident come and ask if we had detailing services. So about 5 or 6.
And in what time period was that?
Actually, it's been throughout since March. That's how we figured it out, and we just been keeping track since then.
And now you went on Mr. Sanchez's Instagram account, correct?
Correct, I did.
And you went through all of the pictures that he posted and counted the number of vehicle posts that he had, correct?
Correct, I did.
Okay. And you provided, at least for the last few months, you counted how many different car posts that were on there, correct?
Correct, I did.
And you counted 11 different cars for July, 16 different cars for August. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
22 different vehicles for September, right?
Yes, sir.
And you also saw him washing vehicles at the apartment complex, right?
Correct. Detailing, there wasn't much water, so I don't know what that entails, but I definitely saw detailing going in.
Do you know how many vehicles and on different occasions you saw him washing?
I actually just saw one on property. I was on a tour, so unfortunately I wasn't able to go ahead and take a picture, but that's all I've seen on property myself, but other than the calls from residents.
Okay. We'll pass the witness.
Mr. Hernandez?
This is just irrelevant.
Yeah,
This is not true.
I have a,
You're not the, it's Mr. Hernandez is your representative. He's the opportunity to ask questions.
okay, so it's your testimony that 3 leasing agents got 5 or 6 calls about him washing cars in the complex, correct?
Including myself, correct.
Okay, but those leasing agents are not here to testify, right?
I have my leasing agents here at the office. They're actually right here if you need them to testify.
Okay, yeah, I think I would like to hear what they have to say about that. Now, you said that you counted all these vehicles on his Instagram account. Specifically, you said 11 for July, 16 for August,
Mhm.
and September, there was 22 cars that you counted, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any proof of that?
Other than what he posted and letting him know that he detailed those
Yeah,
cars.
do you have proof? Do you have, other than what you're saying, do you have anything in addition? Like if you have those, do you have that account? Do you have those postings that you can show?
I do actually send him to our lawyer. He actually has them.
Oh, okay, because we didn't see that today. Now, let me ask you this. Out of those vehicles, can you ascertain how many of those vehicles he was actually paid for?
Can I ask our team?
Can you ascertain?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't have any contact.
You don't know. You really don't know, right?
No, I do not know. I don't know
You
his.
do not know. Okay.
I don't know his
Now,
customers.
you said you actually saw him detailing the vehicle on the property. You say you
Correct.
actually
It
saw
was
that,
in the gated community. Yes.
but you did not take a picture of it, right?
We don't take our phones on our tours. It's very unprofessional. We just keep it with our prospects when we
Oh,
tour.
it's very unprofessional to carry your phone.
Correct. We don't carry our phones on tours.
In 2020, it's very unprofessional to
We
carry your
keep an
phone as a
ID.
property manager.
We keep an ID just for our
So,
safety. to know exactly.
so if your supervisor wants to get in touch with you, he can't get in touch with you until you get back from your tour.
Correct, and they're aware of that. We do not take our phones on property when it's a prospect. We give them our 100% attention.
And you didn't confront Mr. Sanchez and say, hey, you're watching a vehicle on this property?
Not when I'm with a prospect. That's very unprofessional again.
Now let's talk about what you actually saw. What did you actually see him doing?
He was cleaning a car.
Okay, but cleaning how? Was he buffing it with his shirt, or how was he cleaning it?
Again, I was on a tour. It was just literally his white truck, which actually has his business logo, and it was next to a townhome. And this was back in April or March, so I'm sorry, I don't recall the car.
You don't recall the vehicle? Do you know what color the vehicle was?
No, I don't. This was months ago, which is why I actually provided a little bit more proof to try and see, show you all that he's actually cleaning on
Did
property.
you see that the vehicle was all soaped up? Was there suds just going everywhere? Like, was there a lot of soap outside the vehicle? Did you see him wiping it? What did you actually see? You claim to have seen him detailing a vehicle. Explain to the judge what you actually saw.
Objection. I'm going to object to the question and ask him to rephrase it. It's a multiple question.
Okay.
Just ask a question and give her the opportunity to answer it.
Okay. Did you see soap suds on the vehicle?
I saw him like he was drying up the car and the doors were open. So he was like on top of the vehicle, maybe trying to dry it off. So I'm guessing that's part of detailing and he was done with the wash.
Okay. Was the vehicle wet?
Again, I was on a tour. Our model is right across the street. So the townhomes are a little bit like closed in. So I did not see any water, but yes, the doors were open as if they were detailing and Mr. Sanchez was detailing the top of the hood.
Okay. Now, so you didn't see soap suds on the vehicle, correct? I just want to cover this real quick. You
Not
didn't
that
see
I
soap suds.
recall.
Okay, you didn't see that the vehicle was wet, correct?
Not that I recall.
Okay, you didn't see him holding a water hose or some kind of something that was spraying the vehicle with water, right?
I saw him holding a rag, which I'm guessing that's part of a car wash and detailing.
Okay, now, but you don't know for sure if he had a cup of coffee on the top of the hood and it spilled a little and he was just wiping it off. You don't know that for sure.
On a customer's car, at a different
How do you
apartment.
know, how do
with
you
his
know whose
truck.
car that was? Do you know whose car that was?
I'm not too sure. No.
Then you don't know if it's a customer, right? You don't know if it's his mom's car. You don't know if it's a friend's car, right? You really don't know
It
if
wouldn't
it's a
be
car that
parked
he
in front of
borrowed,
a
right?
resident. It wouldn't, his personal car would not be parked at a resident's apartment.
Ms. Fregosa?
Yes.
Please. Hernandez, stop arguing with her. Just ask a question, allow her to answer it.
Okay. You don't know whose vehicle that was, correct?
No, I do not know whose vehicle.
Did you see any bystander standing there? Like any other individual that was just like, you don't know, that was just standing around?
Did you see a bystander?
Did you see a bystander?
No, it was just himself detailing the car with his personal vehicle.
Okay, so you don't know if he borrowed the vehicle? You couldn't say, right?
I don't think so. No, it was in front of a resident's apartment, cleaning it. So I don't know
Okay,
if he
now
bothered it.
let's, the time frame, Ms. Fragoso, that you observed this about, how long did you, in the time frame, was it about 5 seconds? Was it, like, can you tell the judge, like, how long it was that you observed him doing this?
Correct. So we have a gated community. As soon as we entered, maybe it takes 1, 2, 3 seconds to actually get to the model. It was on my peripheral on the right side, maybe 2, 3 seconds. We actually tour. It takes about maybe 5 minutes to actually see the unit, come back. So another 5 seconds by exiting the gate. So maybe a 10-second total of what I noticed.
And that whole 10 seconds, for 10 seconds, you just saw him with a rag wiping the
Your Honor,
top of the
I'm
vehicle.
going to object. I think we've kind of covered this topic pretty well, and I think it's also irrelevant to what's happened in the last couple of months if this was several months ago.
I think it goes to the credibility of the witness, whether or not she's telling the truth about what she claims she saw.
And you've covered it. So let's move on.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Then I've covered it. Then I'll move on. I'll go ahead and I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Judge. We have no further questions for this witness.
Okay. Do you have another witness?
No, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge, I have no witnesses.
Okay, do we have final argument?
Yeah, yes, Judge. The only concern that we have is the September company bank statement was not produced. Based on Mr. Sanchez's Instagram posts, he posted 22 vehicles on his Instagram post in September. He stated that he tries to get most of his jobs posted, but possibly did not get all those jobs posted. His testimony was that he only did 2 to 3 car washes a month. So it's substantially conflicting to what the evidence shows. His expenses given to the court under oath don't make sense. For him to say that he spends $80 a month on food, there's obviously a disconnect with what Mr. Sanchez is testifying to and what the documented facts are showing. And I would like to see that September statement. I would also like to see the actual counter deposits that he's claiming, because car washing is often a cash business, and cash businesses sometimes don't deposit all the cash. You know, that's not to say they don't claim it to the IRS, but maybe they hold it on cash as cash on hand to pay expenses, to buy soap. But I think that September statement, along with a copy from the bank of the actual deposits that were made at the teller, would give us a clearer indication of what Mr. Sanchez is actually making in his business. He's got a very nice website. It's a detailing service. He charges upward of $150 per car wash, $300 for a RV. He testified that last month he did an RV and was paid $300, yet he's claiming he's only making $500 a month. It just, one RV and 2 cars is more than $500. That's $600. So,
But it's not all full profit.
Uh,
You have expenses out of the RV.
Mr. Sanchez, don't interrupt.
Sorry.
we believe, based on what he's posting and based on common sense, that he's really making much more than he's claiming to the court. And he had an obligation to produce that statement and did not produce it. He had an obligation to produce the August statement and did not produce it. The August statement alone was almost $1,000. And, I mean, if Mr. Hernandez could show the court that, we could see if those are actual deposits or if those were only the credit card charges, because he's obviously making credit card charges in addition to cash and checks.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, response?
Yes, Judge. First of all, I want to, I guess, direct the court to the standard by which the CDC order would apply and an individual would be eligible. And one of those standards, Judge, is that he'd be making less than $99,000 a year. I think it's very clear in this case, whether he produces those bank statements or not. This is a LLC that was founded and started in August. He made less than $1,000 in August. I think it's common sense that a small business like that has expenses and like equipment, like soap, like, he pays himself on average $500. That was his testimony. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. That's not enough to not qualify for the CDC order. I don't think with the income that he's making, Judge, that he's testified to, he could.
Mr. Hernandez, let me have a response to Mr. Zimprich's comments, and then we'll take up the CDC declaration.
Okay. Now, so that was his testimony. That was, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, and that's he did testify that there was some misunderstanding about the term utilities. But on average, his expenses, according to his testimony, are around 500, and so is his income.
The request was for the production of the September statement together with the counter deposits. Do you have a response to that?
Yes, I believe, Judge, that he was not asking for any. If he knew, and apparently he knew that there was an LLC, he should have asked for those specific statements, and I would have at the very least made sure he got them. But okay, I don't believe that question asked for that.
You said, is it your contention they're not relevant?
That's correct, Judge. I don't think they're relevant because it's its own legal person. It's a corporation. They're not a party to this suit.
I find them directly relevant to the issue at hand because that's his source of income.
Right, but I don't think he asked for that.
Okay, well, that's where we differ on an opinion. But what is your position in regard to providing the September together with the counter deposits?
Well, I don't have a problem with it. I have to get it from Mr. Sanchez. I need to see, if we can get them. I'm sure if he has August, he should have September. So okay. If the judge rules that we should provide that, we definitely will.
What bank is this at?
I'm not sure if it's, I have to look at my file.
Well, you have this. You have the August statement before you.
No, I don't have it before me. I made a note of it, but I don't actually have the statement before me, Judge. But I'm sure Mr. Sanchez could provide that. I think it's Wells Fargo though, but I'm not 100% sure.
Wait just a minute. Earlier, you were referring to a statement and you said that the deposits were $975. What were you referring to?
I was referring to my notes, Judge, that I took with regards to the August statement that I have, but I don't have the actual statement. I just wrote this note from the statement and it's on,
Okay, well, Mr. Sanchez testified under oath that he provided them to you, and then you were looking at something and answering a question as though you had them.
right, I was looking at my notes. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, so you're
I
saying.
don't,
Mr.
I
Sanchez
have it
didn't-
I have an electronic, so I'd have to go on get
on
that.
the computer.
All right, hold on a second. Let me see how. Okay, I have it here, Judge. Can you
Okay,
hear
what-
me?
Yes. What institution is it?
It's Wells Fargo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Judge, could I ask that he do a screen share and show us that statement?
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Hernandez.
I'm okay. I don't know if I know how to do that, but let's see. Hold on a second. Let's see if I could do this.
At the bottom of the screen, there should be a green icon that says share screen.
All right. Okay. On the Zoom thing.
Yes.
All right, let me try this. Okay, I got it. Can you see it?
No.
No. If you'd like to email it to me,
Hold on. Can I email? I don't know how to do this.
You can email it to myself, Mr. Zimpridge.
Okay, I could email it right now.
Okay.
Can you see it?
no.
No, all right. Let me email it to you right now. Can you provide me your your email?
You should have it. It's MJZIMP.
Okay, let me see. All right, let me. Okay, I just emailed it to you. You got it?
Yes.
And Mr. Hernandez, you don't have September?
No, sir, I don't have it.
So the account, this is basically only half a month. The account was opened on August 17th. So we have a deposit of $957 for 2 weeks' time. Two of those were check deposits, but I don't see any cash teller deposits in here. given that this is only a partial month, I think September would give us a better idea of the total income of the company for a month.
What is the date of the statement?
August 31st.
So they come out on the 31st of each month. Okay.
So that, yeah, it's in October should be coming out pretty soon as well. Our next hearing is next Thursday on the summary judgment. So if we could get those, we could review those prior to the summary judgment hearing, and Your Honor could make a decision on his ability to pay under the CDC declaration.
Why don't we revisit this on Tuesday? Let me just look at Tuesday. Ooh, 45 minutes, 2 hours. Yeah, we can hear this on Tuesday, the November 3rd, at 11 o'clock. You better make that 11:30. I know I have a hearing in the morning.
Okay, I would be available.
Mr. Hernandez?
Couldn't we do this on the 5th?
Okay. The 5th.
Yeah, that would be better for me, Judge, because I'm supposed to be out of town on the 3rd. So the 5th would be better for me.
The 5th is when we have the motion for summary judgment hearing at 9 o'clock.
Yes. Let me just see what comes after that. I want to see how much time we're going to have. That's fine. Now, I want to review with both of you the CDC declaration as I understand it, and want to hear your all's interpretation of it. It appears to me to be a five-prong threshold. Is that we have the first is the individual has used all efforts to obtain government assistance for rent or housing and makes less no more than $99,000, and the individual is unable to pay the full rent, and the individual is using his best efforts to timely make partial payments, and the eviction will not render it homeless. Is that your understanding of the moratorium? It's not a single proof of one of those 5 prongs does not make it valid. You have to prove all 5, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
I guess since we're here, Judge, and I didn't have an opportunity to ask the property manager, but is there any amount that they would be willing to accept in lieu of the entire amount that they're requesting?
Well, you all can discuss that. That's not a matter before me right now. If you all want to,
Because it would be relevant to the amount that the tenant can pay, and that's relevant to the CDC order.
that's something you could take up with the other party. I mean, it's not something that we're going to have a hearing on this in this hearing.
You don't agree that's relevant, Judge?
I do agree it's relevant, but that's certainly you can reach out to the other side and discuss that.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll
Okay.
see how much they're willing to accept, anything closer to the total amount.
Right now, is that what you're, during a hearing, is you're saying now you want to make a,
Right, because the CDC declaration says that he's trying to pay as closest to what he can to what they're asking per month.
and what you're doing, you're making that attempt now?
Right, I would like to know, like, if there's any amount that they would be willing to accept rather than the total amount,
Okay.
which
Well,
is
again,
$1,400 a month, or the $8,000 or $10,000 that they're asking for.
Based on that criteria, I don't know if Your Honor actually wants to make a ruling on the CDC declaration based that Mr. Sanchez has not used his best efforts to make timely partial payments that are as close to the full amount as possible. You know, we saw that just in a half a month's time last month, he deposited close to $1,000. He hasn't paid one penny since February. So that prong alone seems to negate his declaration.
But he also said that he could pay 200 a month and
If
that he would come up with that money somehow.
He should have
But-
been seeing that. So based on his
But they
own,
don't, but the property manager doesn't want anything other than the full amount.
he hasn't tendered any payment.
Okay.
They don't want any payment.
Okay, well, then that's what you can bring up at the hearing when we have on prior to the on the 5th. But provide the statements and, you know, I'll be considered when I make a determination on November 5th. But, you know, we'll continue this on November 5th. I
Okay.
suggest, let's start at 8:45 on November 5th. Can we do that?
I can.
Mr. Hernandez,
Yes, that's fine.
Mr. Sanchez? I think he said, need to unmute if you're.
And Judge, could we right here before the Mr. Zimbrink and the property manager, we would like the property manager to provide testimony on November 5th as well.
Well, that's our summary judgment hearing. I mean, if you want to subpoena them to do that, I mean, but they don't have.
Do I have to? Do I have to, Michael? I mean, it's just a good faith request that you
That's something that we
present her
pick up
to
off
provide testimony.
outside the judge's time.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
I think that's something we can discuss as necessary. I don't think Judge Pearson we need to take up his time.
Yeah, again, this whole.
No, but
discussion-
do I have to subpoena her is my question.
Okay, I'm going to end the hearing, but you all, it sounds like you all need to have some discussion. So you can continue the discussion. This is not what the purpose of this hearing is to have your settlement. But anyhow, I'm going to end the hearing. We'll see you on November 5th at 8:45.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, I'll subpoena her. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.